Good morning. Kendi said also the AI story on the morning show podcast freaked me out. Yeah, that whole thing is troublesome, to say the least.
Oh.
What?
There's something serious we have to talk about.
Cool, can't wait.
Also, I forgot to take my allergy pills last night. I took them this morning. So I am riding the struggle bus, or my antihistamines, if you will.
Good morning. I'm so excited to see Anthony. I added the so,
Are you?
but I know what you meant, Jules.
I can't.
Good morning, Ray. Good morning, Martha. I don't know what you guys are even talking about. Melissa Z, good morning. Jill said, I hope it's a 70s porn stash. Don't even know what you're talking about.
We're not revealing it until we get 100,000 bits.
100,000.
Could never.
Let's see, Scotty, Wendy. Larry's in here. Life is a hike. One minute.
All I have to say is I told you so. And I'll tell
I
you
don't know what
why.
you're talking about.
You have to face this.
No.
Please. No, please.
No.
Ten, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
It's Tones the Turtle.
Is that Squirtle?
No, this is Turtwig. This is Turtwig. Good morning. Welcome to the Carla Marie and Anthony Show. My name is Anthony. What, Carla Marie?
Carla Marie. Okay, I think everyone has waited long enough. It's funny because it's funny because I used to tell you look like Franklin the Turtle. You don't look like Franklin the Turtle. You look like Reno 911.
I look like a guy who was really good at baseball before black people were allowed to play. Like I look like I
Thurman
played for the
Munson.
original Cincinnati Reds, the Red Stockings.
You look like you're about to write me a ticket for no reason. The fuck did I do? I don't deserve a ticket.
Oh man, welcome to the morning show podcast.
I can't wait.
No, this isn't the morning show podcast.
I can't wait to read these messages.
Welcome to the Carla Marie and Anthony Show. My name is Anthony.
I'm Carla Marie.
And clearly,
Oh.
yesterday, I decided to shave my beard off. Now, the beard is not going to be gone forever. I really shaved it because I just wasn't happy with the way that I was like lining it up recently. And I feel like I went a little too low. And just wanted to switch it up.
I did see someone say you look like Mario. It's me, Mario. Yeah. You look like you own a pizza place.
Yeah.
Freddie Mercury is what I said almost immediately.
And I used to get that a lot. And then Carla Marie pulled up a picture of Freddie Mercury with the mustache, slicked back hair, and with the mustache, I really do look like the man. I mean, I think he's Iranian originally.
Yeah.
So he is Middle Eastern.
Mario, Luigi,
Yeah.
Freddie Mercury. It's been so long since we've seen your clean face, Jen said.
70s porn stash.
How long will the mustache be here before you shave that?
I don't know. I think I'm not going to have it this long. I think I want to try like a cleaned up mustache once. I'll go over see Miles soon, get a haircut, clean it up. Because I don't think I've ever had a mustache with like a good haircut.
So we're talking about days.
Yeah. Probably a week or two.
Oh.
Something like that. And then I'll shave it off, grow out the beard. Because I didn't actually shave with like a razor on the side of my face. Right? I don't, I just use the number one. Just go, so I'll do that.
You should do a dermaplane while it's off.
What does that mean?
They basically razor your whole face, but they like take off dead layers of skin. It's amazing.
Yeah, I'm good.
You should.
No. It was interesting lotioning up my face this morning and yesterday. Actually putting like lotion on my cheeks.
I know.
And actually having it, like I could feel it on my skin. As opposed to trying to like.
Nope. I would drive me. I would feel claustrophobic, I think, if I couldn't do that.
If you couldn't put lotion on your face? Yeah. I don't know. I mean, it's crazy though. This is also the first time in almost, let's see.
Yeah, was your skin
almost 2 full years that I've seen my cheeks.
Is it like when you take a cast off and your skin is like?
No, the skin was actually pretty good. I think the fact that you're not scraping it with a razor all the time and it's not seeing the sun directly.
That's true.
You know, those are all things that probably protect the skin a little bit.
Jersey Quinn said it looks like you're in disguise. I said that too.
like I'm going to rip it off.
After Anthony filmed me and he walked away, I literally yelled to him down the hall, Martha is going to be so mad at you.
That is what Carla Marie said. What else do we have in the chat here? So this was obviously the video from yesterday that I posted to Instagram. And it's interesting. I didn't really care how well the video performed. I actually stopped caring about how things perform on social media a while ago. If we have a client or something or a partner, I'd like it to do better.
Yeah. Of course.
But I didn't expect it. I mean, I only posted it about 12 hours ago. Something like that. It's got 181,000 views.
And there's not even a payoff.
Yeah, it's just that. And I'd like to get better. It's tough. Don't get me wrong. It is tough, especially if you're in this industry and you're an independent creator on top of that, to not worry about how social media videos do or content or whatever. But I'm trying to get better at just saying, this is a thing that I enjoyed, and I'm just going to post it. And that's it. God bless you.
The 2 videos that we did that with, both involving the cats that we each did, hit 2 million views.
Yeah, but those, I think we also knew they were going to do well.
But they weren't edited or anything.
It does. It's cat content.
But wait, we haven't.
Somewhat funny.
We went like viral in India, and we didn't know this.
Yeah.
And we had how have we not talked about this? We had like Bollywood stars sharing our videos, and we were like, what in the world is happening? Yeah. And now when you go to like look at my top 3 cities, at least, they're like Nepal will be in there randomly.
I don't know if I have India or any part of that world in my top. Let me double check real quick.
It was
Insights, right?
The Cat Talk app, the app where I was telling Anthony that I could hear Caroline or understand her through the app, and then the other one was Anthony talking to the cats with the ice scraper.
All right, here we go.
2 million each.
Top countries. No, I'm United States at 30 or 97%, 97.6. Then everything else is like 0.4, 0.3. Nigeria, number 2, right ahead of Canada, the UK, and Taiwan. Taiwan actually makes sense for me. Yeah, and I was the national spokesperson for Taiwan.
But also, I wonder if Peter.
Yeah, he was from Kenya. I thought. Where was the area code?
Kenyan dollars is what he had.
Yeah. So he was from Kenya.
I wonder
Nigeria.
if he's got his people bot farming me.
Probably.
Jen said that she just commented, "You are perfect" on the video, because that's what you say to Max in that video. You say, "You are perfect."
Oh, yeah.
Jen said she commented that, and her comment has 6,000 likes.
That's crazy.
Cat the stuff internet will do makes well. No sense.
Well, also, we did just finish watching the Cat Daddies documentary, I guess.
Yeah, you should have been on there.
Which it really goes to show you that guys will get credit for just about anything. Like, this whole documentary was an hour and a half.
Yeah,
close to 2 hours.
Minutes.
Just about guys with cats.
And it was like, and bravo to these men for having cats.
And listen, there were maybe 2 of the 5 men that were on there. I'll say 3 of them had unique or important stories, right? There was a homeless guy who befriended a cop, and there was a whole story there. And there's no point necessarily to the documentary. It's just dudes with cats and being like, you're not gay if you like cats. That's the general consensus. The general takeaway from that video is, hey, you can like cats and be a man.
But here's my thing. I feel like guys who don't like cats.
Not that gay people are not men, by the way. That's not what I'm trying to say.
I feel like people that don't like cats aren't watching that documentary, so they are not being taught.
Yeah. But there were 3 stories on there. There's a homeless guy. There's a guy in Brooklyn who does like a trap and release, and I guess has helped decrease the population of strays in not Queens, Brooklyn. And there's a firefighter.
Wait.
And that story is okay.
Guys, don't post it yet.
Don't post what?
Him.
Oh.
Your face.
But then the other 2 or 3 people in the video are just dudes with cats. Like no special story.
Just live in a house.
But then there's the one famous cat.
Gold Kitty.
Gold Kitty, if you're familiar with cats on Instagram.
Yeah.
Which I wasn't aware of this cat before this documentary.
Okay.
But, yeah, I guess I could have been on that if they just wanted regular-ass people.
And then I would just be there like, I did all the work to get these cats. But sure.
Tones, look straight ahead.
No, but I'm just saying, like, don't post it yet. Let people come here and watch it.
That's fair, yeah. Post it after the show. That's not Anthony, it's his evil twin, Antonio. Do I know I look like pretty ethnic with the mustache. Like I look like my grandfather did.
But you also I said you look like my dad in the video.
Or I look very Italian.
But you also look like your dad.
Yeah. Yeah. My grandfather used to, I think for a little bit, have a mustache that like curled up a little bit.
I only know
and that's why I left a little bit of the overhang here. So
I feel like it's bothering your bottom lip. It's almost touching it.
No, I'm good. I do need to clean up the mustache, like around my lips, because it's
Borat.
I almost don't have an upper lip right now.
Yeah, no, you don't. I don't know what it is.
Which gets in the way when I'm drinking things, because there's always like a little residue. There's always a little.
Yeah, but that's how it was with the beard.
Yeah, no, normally I clean up my top lip, my upper lip.
How long did it take you?
Brother Mailman said, I cannot wait to Photoshop this look.
Did you?
I do have to post like a regular picture later.
Did you
like
film yourself?
No, I thought about it. But I got into the shower. I got into the bathroom and I said, screw it. Although I do have to go into the bathroom later today and unclog the drain. It looked like I killed an animal in there. Because I did it in the shower because we have a mirror in our shower.
Okay, that sounds a little insane when you say that.
We have a mirror on the ceiling in our shower, and I shave like this.
It is a shave mirror.
Yeah. But there was hair everywhere. And I should have cleared it out before I turned the water on, and I was stupid and I didn't, so now I got to go clean the drain.
Is that what you asked me if I had a shower this morning?
Yes. Yeah.
All right, just want to make sure that perfect, meticulous Anthony has left hair in the tub for 12 hours now.
Do you know why?
I'm just saying.
Do you know why?
14 hours.
Do you know why? Do you know why I didn't have time to do that yesterday, Carla Marie? What was I doing for a good 3.5 hours?
Producing the podcast that you're a producer on.
Yeah.
Interesting. Maybe you should have thought about that before you decided to buzz off 2 years worth of hair.
I should have. The big question is, will they still recognize Tones at the LA Fitness in Ballard? That's going to be the interesting part, because there are people that I've become friends with over the last 2 years that have never seen my cheeks.
Oh my God, they're going to lose their minds.
They've probably seen my butt cheeks more than they've seen my face cheeks.
There's a guy who commented from the gym. He said...
Oh, did he?
Yeah.
Who?
The guy that we met at Shingletown.
Oh, yeah.
He said, you shaved your beard, didn't you?
Yep. Tones need a Beard King beard bib when you shave. My dad has one of those. My mom got it for my dad because he like never cleans up the sink after he shaves. So it's a thing where you like stick it. It's like the thing you'd wear the barber, the cape.
Yeah.
But it like goes and attaches to the mirror. So it just creates a little.
Or you can do what my brother-in-law does, a towel, and then puts it back.
What do you mean puts it back? Like folds it up?
I told you. Someone accidentally put it back, and then the baby got covered in ball hair.
Yeah, the beard bib.
Seattle Cocktail Club said you could have come into this office, introduced yourself as Anthony's brother, and I would have believed you.
All right, moving on. We have some other things on the list outside of my new face.
How can we talk about anything?
We just have to.
Did it feel colder outside today?
No.
Did you feel air more?
In my eyeball. That's where that one reached. Go with it. All right. Moving on.
If you put on a hat and glasses.
The Carla Marie app. So I didn't know this thing actually existed until this morning, but we walked outside and one of the signs on our street, like a parking sign, was down.
Yeah.
And Carla Marie said, I've got to put this in the app, which I didn't know was a thing. What is the Karen app that you use?
It's called Find It, Fix It.
Okay.
It's specifically for the city of Seattle. And
I wonder if other cities have similar ones.
There's like truly like 200 different things you could report. So let me just hit new report just to give you an idea.
Is there noise complaints for noisy neighbors?
I didn't.
Is that how you call the
never
cops
noticed
now?
it. Okay, so there's categories are litter and health hazards, and then there's breakdowns in each of them. I'm not gonna
Litter and health hazards.
Yeah, so like a dead animal, someone
Okay.
illegally dumping. So litter and health, maintenance, which is where the sign was, vehicles, other, like found pet, graffiti, all that stuff. Like I could report a lost pet in there if my pet goes missing.
That's cool because there's animal control in most cities, right?
Well, you could do that. You could do paw boost. There's a bunch of things.
But I'm saying because the city
But
has
yeah.
animal control, you can do that.
So anyway, I saw the sign down and I put a little photo in there. I put the exact location and I just said sign down.
Now, have you done other stuff in there?
At least 1, 2, 3 more signs, 3 more things.
What have you put in there? Who have you complained about?
Well, one time someone ran over a sign that
Okay.
was in our street because we have like signs like in the street.
Mhm.
So that was ran over. So I reported that. But then 2 times I reported 2 cars.
For doing what?
Well, 1 car was parked. Look at this guy.
Which one?
I forgot how bad this was.
Yeah, that guy's basically parked in the middle.
In the middle of the street.
That guy is parked far enough into the street that there was probably a car or two that could not pass.
Right. And he was like blocking the sidewalk. So if you're a
Yeah.
person in a wheelchair and it dipped down,
Which we
blocking
do have
it.
someone in a wheelchair on our
Yes.
street. Yeah.
And also this. I
What?
hated this person. They're stupid in their California license plate, living on our street.
What did they
Go
do?
back.
What did they do?
They blocked an entire. Look, remember this stupid Mini Cooper?
Oh yeah.
Like it looks like Herbie. And you know what? It was on the corner for so long, nobody could make a turn onto the street if another car was there.
Yeah.
It was so dangerous. So
So you reported all these people.
wait, I gotta read what I wrote.
Okay.
This car is constantly parked on blank and blank. It is extremely difficult to turn onto blank heading west because of this vehicle, but it's even more difficult when another vehicle is at the stop sign facing east. It causes a backup, and they're often crossing here, so it's very dangerous.
Let's see.
Oh,
Nick NYC just said, I live 1 hour away from Seattle and just downloaded this app. I'm curious what I'll find there.
Well, no, you can't find things. You can only report things. By find it, fix it, it's if you find something, they fix it.
Yeah, and they said Washington is the homeland of passive aggressiveness, if you know what I mean.
Well, what
It
was I
is.
going to do? Go ask that person to not
Yeah,
park
no.
there?
I think there are reasons to have that app. It seems like, honestly, you aren't like out of hand.
And I let them go
With
for
any of
months,
those.
these people.
Like the 2 street signs down should probably
Yeah.
go back up.
Correct.
And those 2 cars were pretty bad. Like, I don't think you should be up there ratting out everyone who parks illegally, but if you're
No,
making
because
it
people do every
literally
day.
like harder to
You do.
drive
Yes.
because of where you're parked, then yeah.
And which I guess I didn't type that right, but there are high school kids, is what I was trying to say, crossing there every day, like all hours of the day, walking. And it's so freaking dangerous.
It is. I've almost gotten hit there a couple times because of cars parked
And,
on
like,
that corner.
And by the way, I saw Scotty say City Ranger Marie. It's called the Pacific Neighborhood Watch, is what Olivia and I, our
Uh-huh.
neighbor, call ourselves.
The Pacific Neighborhood Watch.
PNW, get it?
Yeah, but you're not really like watching the whole Pacific.
Sure.
You're not even on the Pacific, honestly.
We watch the neighborhood.
Okay. Let's see. Lenny from Queen said, "What's with the stash?" Well, welcome to the show, Lenny.
So
because-
yesterday, a cat scratched Anthony's face and all
Yeah.
the hair came off, so he had to do it.
No, I just for anyone joining now, I got to a point with my beard where I just wasn't happy with how I personally like cleaned it up,
Yeah.
and wanted to change, wanted to kind of restart because I am just going to restart the beard essentially. In like 2 weeks, I'll just start growing it out again, and then it won't be as long as it was yesterday because it was getting pretty long, but it'll be a full beard again in 3 weeks, 4 weeks.
You're like a chia pet.
Yeah, basically.
Does your license? Do you have a beard? No, you don't have a beard.
No, I have no facial hair. Well, I have like stubble essentially. Yeah. Let's see. Nick always says, I guess Olympia will never get this kind of app. It's madness down here all the time. I feel like every major city should have something like that. Especially for things that, because a lot of people will call the police, not call 911, but you will call a police department to report certain things. And not all of those things need to be phone calls that the police handle.
No.
Right? So I think every city should have an app like that. And if your city does, if maybe you're in Cleveland or New York or wherever, Miami, let us know if you guys have a version of this that you know of.
Lenny said we have the 311 app in New York.
Right.
That's right. I use it every day to report people parked at the hydrant in front of my building.
There you go. I think I've talked about this before. If I became the mayor of a city, let's say I became the mayor of Seattle,
I'd personally write tickets.
And I know this is going to sound very Karen of me because it's really just about parking. But I would give the city a 3-month warning. I would say in 3 months, we are going to start the parking crackdown. Okay? And I'm going to deputize a bunch of traffic cops.
Sounds like a Mayor Giuliani thing.
I'm going to deputize a bunch of traffic cops. And in 3 months' time, we are going to tow every single illegally parked car in the city for a full year. And I think at that point, and I'll work with different tow truck companies. Like, not one company is getting the contract here. This will also help like small businesses, I guess, in a way. And I would just tow every single car that was parked illegally, and you'll see how easy it is to drive in a city when that is done. Actually, Hoboken just got some good press because I guess they enforced some more parking laws, like people parked too close to corners and stuff like that. They added some other pedestrian-friendly regulations in Hoboken.
They also need parking garages in Hoboken.
And the amount of pedestrian and car incidents in Hoboken plummeted. And a lot of it is because when cars are coming around corners and there are cars parked illegally, you can't see pedestrians. Pedestrians can't see the cars that are coming.
Yeah, that's exactly
and
what
you're
was
done.
happening on said corner.
And because of their regulations and their enforcement of those regulations, I think they went a full year without like a serious incident or something like that. Yeah.
Your brother Justin worked on that project.
There you go. Operation Zero.
He thinks he's not entirely sure what it was called.
Okay.
Larry,
I know they did a lot more than just enforcing parking laws, but that was part of the plan.
Okay, wait, I love this. So Larry said, in my town, they let people park in front of the hydrant, but if there's a fire, they break your windows to get the holes to the hydrant.
I've heard that some cities will do that.
It's kind of worth the risk.
Yeah. And it's also like, listen, you took the risk, and this is what happens when that doesn't turn out well. And keep in mind, this is coming from someone who's parked illegally many, many times. I am not some sort of like perfect car park. I've been towed
at least twice.
At least 5 times. I've been towed. I've had the boot.
Anyway, you look like a mayor of an old western town. You look like Sam Elliott. Can you put on? I have a cowboy hat you can put on. We should do fun costumes to see what you look like.
I was gonna wear a Roosevelt cowboy themed shirt. It had like the horses on the front. It was just it was a little too tight. It was like really, really tight. But even though it was a medium, I think it was like a snug medium. Schmedium.
Isn't that new?
I ordered it recently, but it was a shirt they made a long time ago, so I think the fit was a little different.
Oh, you could have been. Oh, Tom Selleck. Could see. Wow. Should we look up famous people with mustaches? That's what I did.
Sure, go for it.
But I mean, we should see it on here.
Okay. All right.
Martha said Arab Sam Elliott.
Tom Selleck?
No. You just have to go to this website, famous people with mustaches.
Oh, okay.
It's not a website. It's Google.
Famous people with
mustaches. And then pull it up. Is mustache a French word?
I don't know. Okay, so I can put this on the screen if I go here and...
Is this what it feels like when I dye my hair pink?
What do you mean?
Like, do you feel the same?
I don't know what you mean. Do you feel the same?
Like you look in the mirror and you catch yourself.
A little bit.
It is French.
There were a couple times where I looked in the mirror today and went like, ooh. What is going on here?
The word mustache is French and is derived from the Italian mustachio.
Oh, it is?
That's funny.
That was I dated a girl with that last name, actually.
Her last name was Mustache.
Yeah.
But
How is it spelled?
Mustache?
Mustachio.
Oh, Mustaccio.
She was, spelled differently. So maybe different word.
Oh, but then it goes back to like where the Greek word.
Okay. Tom Selleck, Hulk Hogan,
People can
Burt
see this?
Reynolds. Yes. It's a little small on their screen. Burt Reynolds, I could see that mustache.
You look like Tom Selleck, Burt Reynolds. Hulk can't
Freddie
do.
Mercury, obviously. We got that one.
We need the side by side of you and Freddie.
They got Nick Offerman here with a full beard. Come on. Be better.
Well, Alex Trebek. Like, why would you put the Alex Trebek photo? It doesn't even have anything on.
Yeah. This is silly. Here's what we're going to do. We are going to take a quick break. And I know that yesterday, the new game that we played for the people who are subscribed to the channel, it was a little small on the screen. So I fixed it today. We'll see if we still don't like it. And then we'll make a decision as to whether or not to go back to the words game tomorrow or not. So we'll be right back. pretty good round. Not bad. Damn, look at that. Granted, we have 2 people, but really you only got 1.
It's also proof that our screen is bigger.
Well, yeah. But we also lose time because we're going from a big screen to a little screen for the chat. So we lose a little bit of time. How was that? Is it better on your screen now that the portion, it takes up a larger portion of our screen? Before we go back to the actual show.
Scotty said it's impossible for elderly gents like me.
Scotty, you are not elderly. Much easier to see, but it does flip pretty fast. Easier, but I still don't like it.
It's harder than the word game. You know what, though? We got to get these brains going.
Yeah. But no, this company does have a couple more games. I think the other ones are a little more involved on our part. Like, we can't take a real break.
Well, I didn't take a real break. I have to leave.
You want to play another
No.
one? You go paid?
No.
Okay.
This is how you prevent dementia. Games.
There's a little bit of research. All right.
There's a lot of better research.
Let's get back to it. Oh, that's the wrong screen. There we go. We haven't even gotten to confusion at the gym or our former coworker, my former coworker, with their documentary on Hulu. What do you want to do first, Carla Marie? You're rolling up your sleeves, so let's talk about the gym.
Okay.
You showing off those guns?
I need gym assistance.
What's going on?
Okay. So, yesterday, on my app, it was called Pull, the workout that I was doing. But
Okay.
it was a lot of like back and biceps, I guess is what it was.
Okay.
And I do my deadlifts, I do whatever. And I'm like near the end of my workout. And there was a guy that was working out near the whole time. And he's like, hey, am I in your way if I do this? I was like, no, you're good. He's like, back and biceps today, huh? And I was like, huh?
On Monday? Yesterday?
And he goes, on a Monday? I thought I was the only one that's crazy. Me too. And I was like, and I almost said, dude, it's Tuesday, because I thought it was Tuesday.
Yeah.
But I also was like, yeah, my days are all mixed up.
And
then I was like, wait a minute. I almost came and found you, but I was like, I'm waiting to talk about this.
Okay.
Are we supposed to be doing certain things on certain days at the gym?
No, you're not. You could do whatever you want any day at the gym. But Monday is sometimes known as International Chest Day.
Oh.
Because a lot of workouts will start with a push day or a chest and shoulders day. So Monday, oftentimes, if you need a bench, very hard to get on a Monday.
Well, then why would I do the same thing as everyone else on Monday?
It's just how people's schedules always kind of
seems silly.
fit. Usually leg day is at the end of the week if people don't skip it. The other exercises could kind of be whenever. And then you will see people doing, especially guys, doing more like back bicep work towards the weekend as well, because you're getting that pump before you go out, you know?
My app had leg days day one.
Yeah. I actually like doing leg days earlier in the week because
What did
less
you do?
people are doing it. Yesterday was leg day for me.
So what is this guy talking about?
But my workout is not dependent. It doesn't always reset on a Monday. Right? If I skip a rest day or if I take an extra rest day, it's all off.
Yeah.
So I don't some people will restart their programs. If they mess it up, they'll restart their program every single Monday.
But also, this goes against anything I've ever said of like, no one's paying attention to you at the gym. This guy knew what day it was for me.
Yeah, I mean, but you were probably doing a similar exercise, right? Like
We both did deadlifts at the same time.
Yeah. There was like last week, there was a guy who the gym was a little bit crowded. And every time I was finishing up with an exercise, he needed that same piece of equipment. Like we kind of just followed one another. So by the third piece of equipment, I was wiping it down and he was walking over and I said, I got it ready for you. Like, so people will notice things like that. But generally speaking, though, it's not like the whole gym is staring at you. I think that's what people fear when they go to a gym, is that everyone's looking at them because they're the weirdo or something.
Yeah.
But yeah, International Chest Day is on Monday. Does anyone else, let's see, Erica P said I like to do legs on a Monday. I think doing legs, Marijuana's in here. What do you think about my mustache?
Mustachio. That's Anthony's barber.
I was actually going to text him yesterday.
It's Anthony's hairstylist.
I was actually going to text Miles yesterday and just show him a picture, but I chose to wait. He'll have to clean this thing up, though.
Meg said the guy was hitting on me at the gym.
Very possible.
If
It's
that,
very, very possible.
if that man would have been like, hey, you want to like hang out? Can I have your number? I would be like, that guy is mine.
It very rarely goes from 0 to 60 like that. In gym, like gym etiquette would say first you talk to the person, right? Because there's levels of gym interactions.
Mm-hmm.
First, it's you recognize someone enough where you give them like the head nod. Like, I know you come here a lot. You know I come here a lot, but we don't know each other.
I don't really do that anymore.
Right? Because you haven't been going long enough, Carla Marie.
I see all the same people.
Yeah,
I see the old man crew.
It's not the point.
I talk to them.
It's
The
not
old
the point.
guys. I listen to them talk about their favorite handyman in Seattle.
The point is, it's not that you see them the same time. You have to see them for a long time. Right? Like, there were people I probably saw for 3 years before I gave a head nod. Okay? Then, at least with guys, it goes from the head nod to the...
You dap them up?
To the... No. That's number 3.
I
Believe it or not, before the pound or the dap, you go with a, what you working today? What you working today?
I don't know what the hell my app says.
And that's what you say. Oh, the program's got me. It's a push day. It's a pull day. Chest and shoulders, legs and whatever. And then you'll go to like a pound, right? Just as you're passing each other or whatever, one of these. And then it gets very quickly. It's like, damn, those arms are looking good.
But your gym friends now, they hug me when they see me.
Yeah, Stefan's a hugger. Julian's probably a hugger.
Julian daps me up.
Yeah.
No.
Actually, Stefan's probably the only one that I've
Yeah,
ever
I guess.
hugged in the gym.
Yeah.
That's about
Gym
it.
culture is so insane.
I love it.
It is not in a bad insane. It's just a whole nother world to explore and to start learning the nuances of.
I'll tell you, one of the things I like the most is when you're there, granted there probably is a hierarchy based on like the strongest person in the gym and stuff like that, or the biggest person in the gym, but it kind of breaks down a lot of barriers because you'll have a waitress hanging out with a doctor, hanging out with someone who's unemployed, hanging out with someone who's retired, and they're all equals, right? They're all treating each other with the same exact respect as they should everywhere.
Because everyone has one goal.
And they should be treating each other like that everywhere, but that's not the way the world works, right? Once we get into our professions and our economic, divisions and stuff like that, we don't treat each other as well as we probably should.
But we're all there, sweaty, stinky, together.
And I think part of it is, even if you're paying a lot of money for your gym clothes, you're still in gym clothes.
Yeah.
Right? Like, you're not wearing a suit. You're not wearing a fancy watch. You're not doing all those things. You're just a person in some sweaty clothes.
Did you see the super pregnant woman there yesterday?
I did not know.
I am fascinated by her.
Carla Marie's really looking at a lot of people in the gym.
No, I am fascinated. First of all, I think she's wearing, I've never seen her before, but I'm convinced she's wearing the same clothes she's always owned. And
Why is that?
Because it was a crop shirt, and it still was cropped to here, and her belly was out, and then her leggings just came up to here, and it was her
But that kind of makes sense. That seems like the most comfortable thing you could wear.
It
if you're
truly
pregnant,
looked like
right?
no other part of her body changed except the belly, and she was
she just went like poop.
and it was out, and she was like on all the machines. I wanted to go up to her and ask her a million questions, but I'm sure she did not want that.
And I've seen a lot of very pregnant women work, and I knew a woman. She lived on my floor in our old building. She was taking Barry's boot camp classes until I think 3 weeks before her due date.
Normally, if you are,
she wasn't sprinting.
If you work out regularly, you can, prior to getting pregnant. Again, if you've been pregnant before and you know the answers, correct me. But if you work out prior to getting pregnant, then you can work out in your first trimester, whatever it is. You're not supposed to do any type of fitness, I believe, if you're not normally doing fitness.
That's fair.
And
kind of like stay consistent.
Basically. Yeah. But if it's your normal routine, then you can continue.
Martha says you are correct, Carla Marie. There you go.
I know, gym culture.
Is there any part of the pregnancy, obviously like maybe a day before or whatever, but first, second, third trimester, is there a trimester that you're not supposed to work out?
Well, the first, if you don't normally.
Okay.
But if you are a normal workout person.
But if you don't work out at all, can you start in the second?
I believe you can.
So it's the first one that you have to be concerned about.
Because that's when all the parts are slowly forming,
Gotcha.
I guess. I don't know. I've seen women that are literally, they're like, I can go at any moment. My doctor said just to be smart at Barry's boot camp.
Yeah.
And they're on the treadmill, and I'm like, this seems not good.
But they're like fast walking on the treadmill,
Yeah.
right? They're not, I can't imagine physically trying to sprint and be pregnant.
So my best friend
You know,
Alex,
just fall over.
who I mentioned was pregnant last week, we're on the phone yesterday. And she's like, oh my God, my belly's huge. And I was like, send me a photo. I was like, Alex, listen, I'm not trying to diminish any growth you've done here, but I'm pretty sure mine's still bigger than yours. But she rides horses, and she like trains them, but not really. Like, she has a horse and she rides it around. And she said that she can do it for as long as she can get on the horse. She's allowed to do it the whole time. And I was
As
like,
long as she can physically like get up and over
and I said, it's probably like good for
to bounce it
the
out.
bounce and stuff. But she said her hips right now, she's the most pain. It will wake her up. She said it's not that they're tight, because we both have really tight hips. She said they're actually stretching, and she can like feel them.
Well, yeah, the body is literally getting ready to push a child out.
Well, not we're almost halfway there.
Yeah, you don't want. I bet you don't want that happening in just 1 week.
Wouldn't it be nice if all of it happened at once?
Maybe, but I think, and there are people like I know my cousin's wife for 2, maybe 3 of her pregnancies was literally like bedridden, if you will.
Kelly Clarkson.
Doctors always like she couldn't really stand unless she was getting up to go to the bathroom.
Sometimes I just vomit the whole time. I'd be like, sorry, I can't do this.
And so other than outlier pregnancies like that, it would make sense that you still need to be active just from an evolutionary standpoint, right? Like, if we as monkeys or cavemen or whatever couldn't be active and pregnant at the same time, you would probably just die.
Right. Because you had to forage. I mean, yeah, I'm sure
You had to go outside at some point. And yes, you had communities that would help you even then, but you still have to be able to move, right? If a fire broke out, you'd have to be able to get up and go. So evolutionarily speaking, I don't think it would be beneficial to be sedentary and pregnant.
Probably not. But yeah, I'm sure it helps the birth.
Let's see. Renee said, oh my God, my first baby, my hips felt so bad by the end. I can't, it's kind of crazy to think what your body can do to prepare to fire that thing out.
Also, I did see someone ask, I forget who it was, ask which app I use at the gym. Going back to gym, not pregnancy. The Alive app by Whitney Simmons. And then there's different programs within there. No.
Is that the drink app?
No. That's not the Whitney one, is it? No, it's not.
She has a flavor of this stuff,
Whitney
right?
has a flavor of Alani. I love her so much.
How do I get that? Like, I know someone who works at Monster Energy. They have Rain, and they're actually some pretty good flavors.
But they don't change their flavors much.
No, they do. Specialty flavors
I
and stuff.
really have to pee, and I know we're not taking breaks right now.
We can take a quick break.
No, don't do that. Just talk about what you're doing at the gym today.
We're just going to take a really quick break.
No, it's fine. You got it.
We'll be right back. Damn, Jen really took it away in that last one. Oh no, Bree from AZ. Yes. But Bree from AZ makes more sense when you're reading the handle. Why don't we call them screen names anymore? Let's take a pause on that for a second because I think everyone's going to be rejoining us in about 20 seconds.
We can go back.
23 seconds.
Give a little special. Okay, word game seems to be.
Yeah, I think we're going to go back to the word game on Thursday. And then I'll see what other options are available. I do love the fact that, because we used to do a trivia game during the countdown for the show. And I didn't like that it wasn't as interactive, but I like that this, you can actually, the chat works with it. And granted, I had to make those trivia games every single night, and that takes some time. But there are some trivia options that I'm going to look into soon. Let's get back to the show, shall we? All right. Welcome back. Okay. You good, Carla Marie?
Yep.
So we were talking about how on Thursday, not tomorrow, on Thursday we will go back to the word game. It seems like this was a good switch up, but people like the word game more.
I like switching it up.
Yeah. And I will try to find some other options, some other games for us to play. And
is there like a guess that movie line that plays a clip?
That's a great question.
Not legal.
It's a great question. The problem with a lot of these apps is unless there is a big company behind it, and if you were watching ads a second ago, while we go to ads, the subscribers to the channel get a game while we take a little break. Like Carla Marie had to run to the bathroom. We did that. So that's what everyone was playing for a little bit. And the problem is so many Twitch streamers don't want to pay, like we're included in this, by the way, don't want to pay for a lot of the products that they're using. So you either have to be really good at working with a small team, really good at integrating ad sales into what you do, or be backed by a huge company to make tools for live streamers. And there aren't that many because it's hard to produce these products with such a limited budget. Like with, for example, the stuff that's on the bottom of the screen right now.
You made all that.
I made most of that except for the chat that runs on the bottom of the screen. And that's by a company called Stream Elements. It's basically one of two big companies that does these streaming tools, and they have their own advertisers and stuff that they sell through. And the way that they can make money off of us, if we went down this route, is they have partners that they link with Twitch streamers.
Okay.
So they'll be like, oh, League of Legends wants to pay you so-and-so such amount of money for playing for 7 hours. Because mostly it's gamers that they get paid from.
Don't come to me.
Or through. But we'll figure out some new things to play. If you ever come across a cool thing on another stream or a tool of some sort or a game, whatever, definitely send it my way because I love trying to find new ways to integrate different elements into the show. Former coworker documentary on Hulu. I am so proud of this guy because I remember back in 2005 or 2006 when I met him. He was just a struggling little artist.
Yeah.
And now he has his own documentary watched by millions on Hulu. His name is John Bon Jovi. What a guy.
Bon Jovi.
Just to see how far he has come, you know? Ever since the day he met me, his career's really taken off.
Okay, so yes, Anthony was in a Bon Jovi music video, and he hates talking about it, but all of a sudden now he's talking about it.
I hate talking about
I was thinking the other day anyway, that you need to do a video where you're like, hey, I was in a Bon Jovi video. I'm going to show you, and then you do the green screen and you show it.
I could do that.
It would go viral.
Okay.
Okay? People would love it.
It was for the
Have a nice day, and you got to give the finger.
We did not do that in the
but
music
video. But at the concerts, they do.
Yeah, but I'm like
they
an
do
OG.
it from the stage.
I'm an OG guy. You know?
You're not an OG guy. You actually don't even like Living on a Prayer?
No, I think I enjoy Living on a Prayer at bars and stuff, right? I don't think it's like the best Bon Jovi song.
Anyway, the documentary.
Runaway, so much better.
Yeah.
Wanted Dead or Alive? One of my favorite songs of all time.
Okay.
It's all the same.
You should sing that with the beard, the mustache.
Only the names will change. That song.
So anyway, the docuseries
She's a little runaway.
is 4 parts, and it's so good. I think even if you're not like, not that you're not a fan, if you hate Bon Jovi, don't watch it. But if are not a fan like I am a fan, I think you will still appreciate the story. Like I loved watching Wham! Theirs. I mean, I like 3 songs from them, but I love their documentary.
I did not watch that one.
And it's just so cool to see how these bands started. I mean, they've been around for 40 years.
I think the cool thing about any of these documentaries with artists, right? And even Carla Marie, there was a documentary on Netflix, a docuseries about video games that I was watching, and you kind of watched in passing a little bit. Anytime you have a creative, whether it's a musical artist, physical art, digital art, whatever, I think the cool thing about all of those documentaries is seeing the chance they took and the person who helped them finance it and make it. Like, so many things had to happen perfectly for John Bon Jovi to get to the level that he got to. And seeing all the little pieces, right, that connected, I think is the coolest part of those stories. So even if you're not a fan, like you said, they're still interesting. And
it's crazy also because I think they were like, you think they're like 16 when the band started. They were like late 20s when they really took off. From what I know that, but we think of artists today when they like break or like you had NSYNC, Backstreet Boys, they were super young. I think they were like close to 28, 29, which is obviously young, but I don't know. It's just really cool. And they're a bunch of guys from Jersey, and they're still just a bunch of guys from Jersey.
No matter what, when you were born in New Jersey, you're still just a guy from Jersey, no matter where you go.
But John Bon Jovi is my, like, the one person I didn't get to meet. And I know that sounds like, all right, you got to meet so many cool people. True. But it was like him, Fall Out Boy, and Taylor Swift were like the only people that I like ever wanted to meet. And he's the one that I haven't, though I did get to see him in a small theater perform and at a bunch of
Was it the iHeart Theater?
Stadium shows. And I just want to sit down and do an interview with him. I know he probably doesn't want to do that after doing this whole docuseries. But I just have so many questions that are unanswered.
I also peed next to him.
That's right.
At Jingle Ball. I was working Jingle Ball. This was like 3 or 4 years after I did the music video. And there was a bathroom downstairs for like VIPs basically. And I was working, so I ran into that bathroom and I looked over and John Bon Jovi was just holding his wiener next to me.
Definitely there with his kids.
Probably.
Because he wasn't performing.
No, but he could. Z100's Jingle Ball was different than all the other Jingle Balls. Because even celebrities...
No, but I mean, they would get in because their kids wanted to go. They would try to get tickets because their kids wanted to go.
No, but that's what I'm going to say. Even celebrities who didn't bring kids would hit up, like our friend Darren, who used to be in charge of that local Z100 show. Like, I remember I knew a guy who worked for Diddy through a girl that I dated. Right? I had never met Diddy, but I knew that he worked for him. He hit me up trying to get tickets for Diddy. Like, that's how big Z100's Jingle Ball was for a long time. It's different now because it's more of a corporate event. But it was the event. It was people at Madison Square Garden would always say the hardest ticket to get every year was Jingle Ball.
I had a high school bully.
It's different now.
High school bully reached out to me and asked me for tickets.
Yeah.
And I was like, that's going to be a no for me, dog.
There are definitely a couple people who like I only stayed in touch with through Facebook. Like, I wasn't even really friends with them from high school that would hit me up. Hey, I kind of want to go to Jingle Ball. You have any extra tickets later on? Like, dude, I can barely go to Jingle Ball. I'm working.
Wait, there was something I was going to say about Bon Jovi. Oh, what's crazy also when you're watching this documentary is it makes you, like I was talking about their age. I think they wrote It's My Life and like did that tour when they were in their like late 40s.
Really?
Yeah.
I guess they did stick around for a while because he really broke in what, 89? 88?
88. Sorry, no, it was sooner because I think Slippery When Wet came out in 88 because that's when I was born.
Okay.
That's how I was like, oh, that's crazy.
Because Have a Nice Day was 2005 or 2006.
Yeah.
Not that song was very successful or anything.
Slippery When Wet was 86.
Yeah. Okay. And that's with Runaway?
Yeah.
Right? Meeting John in the John is very meta, says Fred the Mailman. That's very true.
So you're peeing next to him.
Yeah.
Do you look over?
No.
Do you say, hey, I was in your music video?
No.
You're so useless sometimes.
I just felt like that was probably not the place.
If I was peeing in a stall and I knew Jennifer Aniston was next to me, I'd be like, Jen, I love you.
If we
Maybe
were
not.
both holding our wieners
Yeah.
and I turned around and said, John, I love you, it would have been a little weird. Very weird. I probably wouldn't have been allowed to work at Z100 anymore. But yeah, no, I did not talk to John Bon at all. And also during the music video,
Yeah, I'm sure.
we never spoke. He did know that I was there, though, and I'll tell you why. There was a scene, which I believe ended up being cut out of the music
I
video.
can't believe I have this 6 degree, the 1 degree? I'm 1 degree separated from Bon Jovi.
No, I would be 1 degree,
I'm 2 degrees.
right? Like, I was in the same place with him, but I didn't talk to him.
You were in his music video. It doesn't
Yes,
matter. That's
okay.
I'm 2 degrees from Bon Jovi.
So, the scene in the music video, and I'd have to go back to watch to see if any of this made it in. They had a flip phone at the time, and the whole idea of this video was John Bon Jovi signs an album or something and like draws a smiley face, and that smiley face ends up being spread on like stickers and signs and things around the city. And the scene that I'm talking about, he is at his own concert, right? He's performing, and he's supposed to look into the crowd and see the picture of that smiley face that he drew on a cell phone, like someone's holding it up.
And you're the cell phone.
And I'm the cell phone holder guy.
Don't.
But I don't know if they kept that in there because I think they had a hard time editing it together.
On a flip phone?
Because it's literally a screen that's 2 inches
Let me see.
big, and this is back in 2005. The digital technology to edit that was not great at the time, like tracking it and whatnot in a concert. But the reason I say he knows that I existed was because the director went up there. He's like, all right, this scene now, I want you to like pretend like you can't see very well, and you're gonna look at that guy with the curly hair.
And what did you do? Like when that's happening,
I
you're
just
like,
went,
"Sup?"
hey man, that's me.
I need to meet him and be like, John, my boyfriend was in your music video.
But the crazy, and I've definitely talked about this before. The craziest thing about that music video is we shot for 2 full days, basically 2 12-hour days. Okay, they hired 40 people, 40 like models and actors to be in the front of the stage.
Yes.
For this fake concert at Irving Plaza, and then they just invited the John Bon Jovi fan club to fill in behind us. So it was
That's
like,
cool though.
but the funniest part about it was me at like 19, 20 years old, something like that. A bunch of people around my age, models, actors,
And then
and then just the biggest fans. Because you have to remember, not only were you part of the John Bon Jovi like email blast newsletter back in 2005, but you had to be available. I think it was on a Thursday or a Friday.
I'm available.
At 1 p.m.
I'm there.
Right? So these are big, big fans. So much so that there were 4 women behind me who I almost got like groupie privileges from Bon Jovi with them. Like that's how in love
tell
with
him this
they
when
were
we
just
meet
in
him.
love with him so much that anything that was like attached to the John Bon Jovi name they were enamored with. And they were all showing me their John Bon Jovi tattoos.
Yeah, I'll get one.
It's wild.
Have a nice day.
They had his name in a heart on their skin.
Well, that's
Like, that's insane. But they hired the 40 of us first for the first day. And then to set us up, the director came out and there was a stairwell in Irving Plaza that he had us all like sitting there as like stadium seating almost so he could talk to all of us. And he looks up and he sees me and I'm at probably the second to last step. And he like looks at his video guy or his assistant director, whoever it was. And like, I see him pointing to me.
Yeah, because you look straight out of 1986 with that hair.
I had a lot of curly hair. So I had like,
You
I
looked
looked
just
different.
like they did.
So he points to that guy. He goes, I want him and he starts mumbling to his director. Like, okay, that's
It's
cool.
so awkward. You just feel like a meat.
Well, and also in that kind of setup where it's daily workers, everyone's like looking for their break, if you will. Like there's a little bit, it was kind of weird. I felt bad. And then the assistant director comes up to me later on as we're filming some things and says, hey, we want you to come back on Saturday. We're only inviting about 10 people back to do more filming for the video. We like your look. We want you in here. So cool. We'll take some more money. Terrible money. I think total for the weekend, for the 2 full days that I worked, I I think I made like $300.
I'm telling John Bon when I meet him, he owes you money.
And everyone said music videos are like the things, unless you're the main person.
I don't care. I want to be in one.
They don't make a lot of money. So then they brought me back, and we're filming all around New York City. And they're using me for a lot of shots, so much so that the video guy, at one point the director was putting me in another shot. The video guy came in and said, hey, I don't want to like overstep my bounds here, but I think we have to stop putting this guy in the videos for a little bit because it's going to look like the video is fully about him. He's talking to me,
Yeah, but
talking
that's
about
fine
me.
because like music videos have that.
But here's the craziest part is after all of that, they basically sidelined me halfway through the second day. Which I still got to hang out with all the people I'd become friends with, and it was a good experience.
That video guy was definitely jealous of your groupie girls.
Maybe. But by the time the video came out, I'm in it for like maybe 3 seconds.
Yeah.
From the guy who they didn't want to film anymore because I was in too many videos.
But it's my favorite thing. Like, I randomly think about it, and I'm like, what are the odds that I have loved Bon Jovi since I was 15? I'll say that. Like, I knew of him, but I went to one of his shows with a friend who had an extra ticket. It downpoured.
Yeah.
Top 5 favorite concerts of all time was that show. My first time. And I didn't really know much about Bon Jovi.
Yeah.
I remember someone got proposed to on stage.
That's
they were in
cool.
the VIP pit. It was downpour. I mean, we were soaked. And it was just like an experience. It was like probably my first like experience at a concert where you're like, oh, this isn't just music. There's more to this. And then I just fell in love with the music and the stories like, oh, the 80s and whatever. And I just been a fan now for 27 years. Math, I don't know.
Can I tell you the worst part of the video filming experience with John Bon Jovi?
21 years.
So the concert, and I don't think this is a surprise to anyone, the concert that's in that Have a Nice Day video, it's all fake.
Yeah.
Right? It's not a real concert. But they're lip syncing the whole time. Was it Richie Sambora is his name?
Yeah.
He's got a guitar that's not plugged in to anything. Like there's a plug, but that plug leads to nowhere. And the funniest thing is because he's strumming, you ever heard an electric guitar without being plugged in? It's just like clink, 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 clink. Like he's just making that sound because he wants to look like he's playing for real. And John Bon he's got a mic in front of him, not plugged into anything. And I just felt like what they should have done, especially because they had 200 fans that showed up for free. Maybe do 2 songs for real. Just like a quick private performance
but I wonder
to say
what
thank you.
union setup is then if you're actually performing a show.
Oh, true.
In New York City.
That's true. They
then
probably
you don't
would
need a
have.
rat outside.
Yeah, because then they probably would have had to pay way more money to get this video produced.
It's crazy.
I remember the audition for that video, actually.
You had to audition to get there?
Yeah.
They
I
couldn't
used to go on auditions all the time. Like, I'd say every 2 weeks I was in the city doing some random audition for some stupid
What was
thing.
the audition? You had to just...
So the guy just said, and even in the audition process, which now I'm thinking maybe that guy was maybe he was on set for the video. He was like, we love your hair. We just want to see what you would look like at a concert. So just pretend you're at your favorite concert. And the craziest part was they didn't give me music. Are you in like a room? Yeah, it's a room maybe this size, nothing on the walls. No,
what? Is this on tape somewhere?
I'm sure they have it somewhere.
I bet you it's in John's basement with all his other archives.
Probably. Whoever the casting director was probably has a file somewhere.
And what did you do when
I just jumped around? It's not the same now because my hair's not long, right? But I just jumped around. But the weirdest part was there was no music. They just said, pretend you're at your favorite concert. And I was like, do you have any music or anything? And it said, no.
Did you know it was for a Bon Jovi music video?
No, not at the time. I think I just knew it was a music video.
I mean, you could have been the love interest in a Britney Spears video.
It's funny you bring that up. I auditioned for an Ashley Tisdale music video. And I remember my girlfriend at the time being like mad at me. And again, I was going to be just like the John Bon Jovi music video. I was going to be an extra, right? I was just going to be a dude, probably at a concert. And she was so concerned that I was going to be cast as the love interest for Ashley Tisdale in this music video that she was mad at me for like a week.
I wish. How do I get you signed up to do this?
And I remember being like, I don't know why you're mad at me. I didn't do anything. And they didn't tell me I'm a love interest. She's like, but what if you are? I was like, I don't know. And I remember her saying, but what if they ask you to kiss her? And I was like, if they're paying me, I'll do it.
What if they ask you to kiss her? It's a good question.
And I get it. Like, we're 19, 20, 21 years old. Jealousy like that creeps in.
You want to go off and run away with Ashley Tisdale? Okay. I'm going to write a book about it, though.
I mean, part of me was like, it'd be pretty cool if I was Ashley Tisdale's love interest. Not a bad-looking person.
No. Oh, my God. But imagine you got to be in, like, a Hillary Duff music video and be her love interest.
That would have been awesome. You want a Hillary Duff story? This is around the same time. I'll just name drop all day long.
Okay.
Just name an
artist. I wasn't done talking about John.
Okay, talk about John more. Talk about John Bon Jovi.
Well, what
more.
I was going to say.
My former coworker, John Bon Jovi.
I, even as a John Bon Jovi fan all these years, was never a Richie Sambora fan.
He kind of seems like the asshole rocker.
And the documentary kind of proves it. And again, like, he leaves the band for what you understand to be is that he was having alcohol and or drug issues. Mm. But he, like, from the beginning of when they're interviewing him, he's just, like, such a smug a-hole when the rest of the guys are like, I'm just happy that this has been my life.
Is he from New Jersey?
Yeah.
Richie Sambora? I don't believe it.
He was married to Heather Locklear.
He doesn't. I was going to ask. He dated a famous person.
They were married, had a kid. Kid is, like, 30 now, which is insane.
Yeah.
But, no, younger than that. I just never really liked him. And I was watching this, and I was like, it was proven.
That he's, like, smug?
I don't have time for it.
I mean, married Heather Locklear. He was probably doing pretty well for himself.
So.
Do they talk about, like, groupies and stuff in the documentary?
Not really. It's more true. It's truly just about the band story.
Okay.
And it's funny, and they all say it is that, which I love, is that John never really did. He said, I guess he did drugs when he was a teenager, and he, like, freaked out and had really bad experiences, so he never did it again. And he barely would drink before a show because he knew it would fuck up his voice.
Okay.
And he was like, I was just, like, straight edge. It's wild to think that you were in a rock band through the 80s and 90s, and yes, they would go out and party. You talked about, like, he would be hungover and stuff, but he's like, I was never the getting drunk before going on stage guy.
That's cool.
I love that.
Let's see. Jen said that Richie Sambora was born in Perth Amboy and went to Woodbridge High School.
Perth Amboy is like where they all were.
Pretty sure I stole a Woodbridge High School track sweater back in the day.
You know, at track meets, I definitely had things stolen.
Oh yeah. I had a Ridgewood High School like track sweatshirt stolen once, and then I just went on a tear and I said, if this is what track culture is like, I'm just stealing everything I see. At one point I had like a dozen high school sweatshirts that I just stole from track meets.
Where are they now?
Goodwill, probably. Garbage. I don't know.
Okay, can you explain Hillary Duff?
Hillary Duff. So Hillary Duff was doing a meet and greet at Z100's Zootopia out on Nassau Coliseum. And for a long time in promotions, my job was to, even when I was full, like part-time, hourly, whatever, my job somehow got to be setting up all the meet and greets. From literally setting up the tables and the booths to making sure that the artist team knew what everything that was going on. The artist got there, everyone got their pictures, security was good, and then the artist left. Like from beginning to end, I would assign the dressing rooms, all that stuff. So I'm doing that, and it's Hillary Duff, and her team was awful. Out of all that, she's probably in, if I had to rank the teams of people, right? Managers, PR people, whatever. Top 5 most annoying was her man. Like, just an asshole. Like, straight up did not treat people well. Was very short with everyone, even if people were doing everything they could to be nice to this person. And I'm like, this is going to be awful. I do not want to work with Hillary. Like, I got to a point where I was like, I don't even want Hillary Duff to show up. That's how annoying that these people and this one person was. And then she shows up, and she is the nicest person she could have possibly been.
She's awesome.
Talked to every single fan that came up to the table, took a picture, signed everything, whatever. And the DJ, so this is very early in the event. It's like an outdoor part of Zootopia. The DJ starts playing the Fresh Prince of Bel-Air theme song. Mm-hmm. And I'm like kind of like mumbling the lyrics to myself, and then Hillary Duff jumps in, and then like 6 of us were just singing all together, singing the Fresh Prince of Bel-Air theme song.
I don't think
together.
I've ever heard this story.
And then it was funny because during the song, it was like we were best friends. And then the song ended, and we just went back to work. And that was it.
That's it.
But she was really, really nice.
I met her years
So I got
later.
to sing karaoke essentially with Hillary Duff.
Look at you.
Yeah.
She could have been your love interest. You could have been having all these babies with her. She's got like 10 of them.
I probably would have if she asked. All she had to do was ask.
Sir, will you let me have your babies?
Let's see. Greed for money makes people act like absolute a-holes. I heard J-Lo's person to negotiate contracts is notorious for being bad. And contracts aside, what?
That's crazy that Nick just said that because when you were talking about teams of people that suck,
Yeah.
I thought of J-Lo's team immediately because do you remember when she came up to Elvis's show and Elvis was asking her about things that she had on her rider?
Oh, yeah.
And he was like, yeah, you had something on your right. He's like, can we talk about this? There was something like, it was like a random fruit. It was something. And he's like, and we couldn't find it. She's like, I don't even know what that is. And we know that teams will put things on there just to put them on there. We know that.
Sometimes they'll do it. They'll add one very specific thing, like all green M&Ms or whatever. And it's their way of
seeing how detailed you can be.
Trying to cut through, because they don't want to have to check every single thing on a rider. So if they put something really weird in there and they check and it's there, they have a little more confidence than everything else on the rider, because the rider also includes stuff for stage.
Right. So then they also know, like, okay, the wires are probably there.
Yeah.
This was coming into a radio studio at 8 a.m.
For an interview, yeah.
We didn't need to get you, like, golden kiwi shaped in a specific way. So, and she was like, well, I guess we're talking to somebody about that, and, like, looked out to her people, and I'm out there answering the phones, and I'm like, ooh, this is awkward.
J-Lo seemed pretty nice.
She was super nice.
The only person who matched their team in being super annoying was probably Mariah Carey. And I give her team a lot of credit because they really wanted the product to be good. So they sent a video guy and a lighting guy the day before the interview to meet with me to go over all the settings in the studio and stuff. And I was a stupid little radio video person. I didn't know what I was doing. But she also was annoying. So like the team was over the top and she was over the top. It was probably the only time it matched. Her and Pitbull matched their teams. And Pitbull's not a mean person by any means. He's super polite to every single person he
Mr. 305.
He's just always late to being on stage. Anytime I've worked with Pitbull, and this is at least 6 times, where I was personally responsible for getting him on the stage, and he was the most difficult person, just wouldn't leave his dressing room, wouldn't even answer the door. Mm-hmm. And his management would just be like, oh, he's not coming out yet. He doesn't feel like it.
Well,
only artist I've ever taken to the stage late. Literally in years and years, I've taken hundreds of artists to meet and greet areas and to the stage. Hundreds. Pitbull's the only one who was ever late.
So Pitbull and T-Pain are touring together.
Oh, that's a good show.
In September, October, they're coming here. But they're performing at the White River Amphitheater, which...
Sorry.
Maybe I'd see Bon Jovi there. It sucks because it's like one road in, one road out.
And far.
It's a pain in the ass. And I would love to know what time Pitbull's going to get there, because if he doesn't get there so early, he's going to be real late.
He's not showing up.
And how did these people leave? Helicopter?
No, that's the craziest part about Pitbull.
He'll be there.
He's there. He's on site in his dressing room. It got to a point, it was so bad. The first year I worked with him, beat stock in New Jersey, right down in Homedale, New Jersey, PNC Bank Arts Center. He was like the headliner. He was there probably 2 hours before he had to go on stage. Perfect.
Okay.
Right? And I guess there was a specific type of tequila or vodka that was supposed to be in his dressing room. They didn't have it, so whatever. It was something he was promoting. He was like tied with the company. But he's there. I bring him into his dressing room, and he's so nice. So nice. Ask me how my day is going as I'm walking him down the little corridor to get there. And I set him up. He's perfectly fine. Didn't even really care about the vodka. That was more his manager that was complaining.
Dale.
And I left him alone, right? And Enrique Iglesias was there too, and they're friends. So they're hanging out.
They're buds.
Bullshitting in the hallway, drinking. Until I had to take him to the stage. And then he disappeared. I go to his manager. He goes, hey, he doesn't want to come out yet. He doesn't want to go to the stage until at least 5 minutes before he has to get on. Okay. But B-Stock is a show that's like, it's fast, right? Like you go from one act to another. There's no downtime really. So I say, okay, I'll come back. I respect that. Come back. Get him 5 minutes before. Come back. He still doesn't want to go out. He wants to send his DJ up first so his DJ can check all the equipment. Okay, cool. Quality control, I get it. So I say, is the DJ ready? No, not yet. Okay, waited for the DJ to get ready. Took the DJ up there. I come back down and said, DJ says everything's good. Can I take him up now? Manager goes, no, not yet. He's drinking. And I said, okay. Okay, I said, does he want to bring his cup?
Fred the mailman said, I'm on Caribbean people time like Pitbull. If the vibe isn't right, I'll sit until I feel ready.
This man, I said, okay, I'll give you another 5 minutes. Right? Like, and now there's no one on stage at this point. DJ is not starting because he doesn't know where Pitbull is. Pitbull's not starting because Pitbull's not going up because the DJ hasn't started. Then he goes missing. He goes, I have to go to the bathroom. After he goes to the bathroom, he goes missing. I go into the bathroom. He's not there.
Cheese Dot, great question. Is there someone in your ear screaming at you?
Yes. Oh, yeah.
Who?
At the time, it was a guy named Rob Miller, who now works in Miami, and a guy named Vito Bruno, who is, I believe, the president of the borough of Brooklyn.
Now, not
now.
then.
Yeah, currently, like, he's an elected leader at some point. They're yelling at me, and I'm telling them, like, guys, I'm trying. He just won't come up, and now he's missing. Turns out he went to Enrique's room, and now they're drinking together. And keep in mind, the fans are out there now for probably 15 minutes.
And this is where it's, like, not funny. It's rude.
Yeah, it's like, the last show. It's the last part of the day.
This is rude. There are people here.
And
they paid money.
Vito is in my ear saying, well, tell him he's not going to get paid if he's not here in 2 minutes.
You had to say that?
And I said, Vito, you can say that because I don't have the check. So Vito, he came down. And because Vito's in, like, the production area, like where all the boards and the video monitors are, he's not supposed to leave that. It's his show that he's running. He comes down and he goes to Pitbull's manager. He goes, if I don't see him on stage in 2 minutes, he goes, you're not getting your check. And very quickly, Pitbull was on stage. But then the craziest thing is Beatstock is 2 nights, right? Beatstock is back-to-back nights. They do a New Jersey show.
That's right.
And then they do a Long Island show. So the next one is at the time it was Jones Beach Amphitheater. I don't know what it's called now. So I said, okay, I know Pitbull's going to be late again. It's hard to get him on stage. I'm going to put him in the dressing room that is directly next to the entrance of the stage, right? Like it's maybe 20 feet.
That's smart.
The same exact thing happened the next day. He still went missing. He still didn't get on stage for probably 20 minutes. Vito had to go scream at his manager. Okay. Next year, Pitbull's back on the lineup. Same exact thing both days. Then, this is my favorite part. I'm doing a big iHeartRadio event called
hope Pitbull calls you into
the iHeartRadio Pool Party, which they did for like 3 or 4 years down in Miami.
You worked that?
I was on the Saturday Night Online live team that was broadcasting for all of iHeartRadio. And they were all like, oh, well, Pitbull will be here at 8:45 or whatever it was.
No,
I said, guys, no, he won't. I promise you, do not plan your break around, because this was a live radio broadcast too. This isn't just a live show now. This is hundreds of radio stations broadcasting this live. So I said, guys, whatever you do,
How does someone like that continue to get gigs?
Do not plan your breaks around Pitbull being here on time. They said, okay, we'll give him we'll have a 5-minute buffer. We'll have some other content, some interviews we did earlier in the day we could play. Cool. I'm looking at this lineup and I'm like, guys, I don't think you have enough fill content for when you are going to need Pitbull on stage or in the broadcast. And everyone's saying, no, he's here already. He's been here for 3 hours. He's staying in the hotel here because it was at the Fontainebleau. I said, I don't know why you guys aren't trusting me here, but he's not going to be here. And then the people who were running the artist that day, because it wasn't my job anymore, I went to them. I said, just make sure Pitbull's here on time. Be at his door 30 minutes beforehand. They said, no, he's been so nice today. He's definitely going to be here on time. And I said, I know he's nice. He's just not going to be here on time. Sure enough, we had to fill. We went to commercial twice, filled with just nonsense, there was, I think, 30 minutes that we had to just look for Pitbull. And he was nowhere to be found. And again, I say this, he is the nicest guy when you talk to him in person. He is just not going to be anywhere you need him to be on time. And as everyone was trying to look for things to fill.
Is it like his funny thing? Like, let me go missing, see if they can find me. He loves playing a little game of
everyone that I had warned that day to make sure that they didn't schedule anything around Pitbull just went, no, we probably shouldn't have scheduled anything around Pitbull.
I would lose my mind. Well, anyway, so I will definitely not be seeing him at White River Amphitheater.
No.
For various reasons. But Angela and Tacoma Swiftie both said that they will not go to White River Amphitheater, and they like live near there. But Tacoma Swiftie said she is going to actually see Avril Lavigne there Memorial Day weekend because she couldn't pass up and she's dreading.
Well, we went to Warped Tour when we first moved here. We went to Warped Tour.
It took us 2 hours to get there. We missed the set.
Yeah.
To see Yellow Card.
It took a long, long time.
I remember that was probably one of the angriest I've ever been in my life. I was like in tears in the car. I was so mad.
Yeah. It's Meg, not Megan, said I love Pitbull, but that's messed up. I also, here's the thing. I like Pitbull. I think his music is fun.
All the gym.
I think he's very nice. I just wish.
My sister does love Pitbull.
I wish he would just show up on time. He's the only person that I probably have a personal vendetta against in the music industry.
Let's get him on the show.
If I can ever make him late for something, I will. If I ever have to interview him again, he's going to walk in and I'm just going to go, I got to go to the bathroom and just go disappear for 30 minutes.
Go home, take a nap.
Yeah. But again, I will say he's a very nice guy. And that's the most frustrating part. I wish he was Mariah Carey. Right? Because then I can just be like, screw that person. I hate him.
Okay, well, so back to Bon Jovi.
Sorry, this was the Anthony name dropping episode.
I loved it. I was looking up live shows because you'll learn in the docuseries, and we just know this, that there's like the band's fate is unknown. It's kind of like almost day by day on when and if they'll be able to perform live based on JBJ's throat.
Okay.
Or vocal cords. And they have like 2 or 3 shows left on this tour, and they're all like in the UK, and they're in June.
Okay.
And for a second, I was like, oh my God, I like need to go. Because if I'm telling you right now, if I don't get to see them live one more time.
Well, at least you saw them live, though.
Plenty of times.
There you go.
10.
There you go.
Lots of times.
So what's wrong with his voice? Is it like throat cancer or something?
No, for years, like 15 years, maybe 20 years, he's been having like throat issues, vocal cord issues, which a lot of artists do have. And he did all these things to try to fix it, and then he goes in for surgery, and it did get a bit repaired, but you're still in your 60s with these issues. Like, your body is... And he works out like crazy. He plays tennis. He works out. He talks about it. He does all the things.
He seems like a pickleball guy now.
No, he says tennis.
Okay.
But there was something, the doctor explains it in the docuseries, that his vocal cords don't touch, which is what you need when you're singing.
Okay.
And then you hear him like trying to sing, and I'm like listening to him, like, oh,
yeah, it's tough.
That's not what you sound like. And he never gets mad. Like, it's crazy. And maybe he does off camera, but he's very much like, that's not what I want. That doesn't sound right. And I don't feel comfortable like putting that out. Like, he's such a professional, and he talks often about how people would always ask them, and there's various clips of this from the 80s till now, of, well, like, you could just retire now, right? Like, in the 90s, well, you could just retire. And he's like, this isn't about the money. This is my job. Like, this is what I'm passionate about. I want to do this until I can't do it anymore. And it is so crazy to see year after year how people are like, well, why don't you just retire?
Yeah.
And he's like,
he loves what he does.
I'd love this. Why would I?
It's also, I mean, when you get to that level where you are a global superstar like Bon Jovi, I think you get to a level where even if you don't admit it or acknowledge it or whatever, you're addicted to that feeling.
Of course.
Right? Like, you created something that so many people love.
Yeah.
And are passionate about. And it's a good feeling, right? Because the music that you make or the art you make makes people happy.
Yeah.
And you get addicted to that process.
When he finally comes back and sings after the surgery, he says something like, I haven't felt joy like this in 10 years. Yeah. And it's true. It's like, you haven't been able to do the thing properly the way you want to do it. Yeah. And if you watch it in the very first few minutes, they go to the shut down Continental Airlines Arena, which is the arena Anthony got banned from for jumping on the stage at WrestleMania.
Technically, I'm not allowed there anymore. Technically, I'm not allowed at the entire Meadowlands complex.
Wait, can you go to American Dream?
No.
No.
Legally, no, I'm not. I'm not supposed to be there.
Well, I've been trying to get the Coca-Cola Podcast Lounge to do something with us when we're home. So,
well, actually, I think that my mom probably still has the document somewhere, but it's you know what? I believe the company itself that owns all that area is now is under a different name.
I think it is. Well, it used to be NJSEA, New Jersey Sports. Oh my God, my parents.
Entertainment and Amusement?
No. Expo Authority. It's like something weird.
So I think that's the authority that banned me from the complex. So if that doesn't exist anymore, I don't know who would enforce my ban.
Everyone is saying that. Is this why you have the mustache now? You can.
Yeah, so I could go in, put on some spectacles, and get in there.
Becky said you can always write to them to lift the ban. I did it for Disney. We're gonna need
Yeah.
that story, ma'am.
Yeah, they told me actually when I got kicked out when I was 16 years old. They're like, well, if you write a letter, they might let you back in. I was like, I'm not writing a letter. I'm just gonna come back. And I even asked the security guy. I said, well, what does that mean? He's like, in reality, he goes, just don't get in trouble here again. If you get in trouble here again, they can add on the additional charge of trespassing.
Oh.
That's really it. They're not gonna like show up and arrest me if I'm just hanging out in my seats.
Yeah. Do we need to hear Becky's story then call it a day?
We could.
Oh, my dongle's not here.
You could Bluetooth it. It actually sounded decent yesterday or the other day when we Bluetoothed. Let's see if we are going to talk to Becky. And if you're busy, that's totally fine.
Is it?
It is not connected yet. There you go.
How do you get banned from the Disney?
Probably pretty easy. I feel like Disney is probably an easy because they don't care if you come back or not. They have enough people.
Were you naked? They can ban you if you're naked.
Some boobies out. Nothing crazy, but I cried a lot. So no boobies out.
All
no
right.
naked.
Becky, you can call us if you want. No pressure.
201-305-0894. Thank you, Jen.
Meg said, no, it's not totally fine. We need this story.
Martha said, bagel time. Bye. See ya.
Yes.
I need a good bagel.
Becky in Miami, hello. Oh, nope. Wait, you're not through. Hold
Bluetooth
on.
yet.
There we are. Wait. How about now? Hi.
Hi.
Okay.
Now I hear you guys better.
Perfect. Okay, so you got banned from Disney World for 1 year before writing a letter. Why were you banned?
Yes. So, you know how you have to go through security checks, when you have bags or whatever?
Yeah.
So apparently, I have my stroller, for my daughter, whatever, and all the coolers, book bag, everything's in there. And then I get beeped, so they have to check my bag. They open the cooler, and my husband forgot to tell me he left his gun there.
Oh my God. So they thought you were trying to smuggle in a gun to Disney.
Yes.
Yeah,
Yes.
Becky, you know that I love you, right? But I would say that is an absolutely appropriate reason to be banned from Disney.
Maybe.
No,
Did
no,
you?
of course,
What, like,
I totally understand, but because
Oh my God.
I was not licensed, so I was the one that got banned, even though it was his weapon.
Was he with you?
And yes, they had already crossed the line because they held me back because I was with the bag.
Yeah.
Oh my God. So wait, what did they like? Were you like in cuffs? Were cops rushed over there? Because obviously at Disney, if someone tries to like smuggle in a gun, that's a big deal. And not that you were trying, obviously, to smuggle in a gun. That's not what we're saying.
Right.
But what did security do immediately when they saw what was in the cooler?
Oh yeah, the Orange County sheriff were called in, and I was just taken to a room, and
Okay.
of course they read my rights, and yeah.
wait, where was your husband during
So-
that part when you were taken to a room? Did he be like, oh, where'd she go?
No. I called him because I'm like, when I thought when they opened the bag, I thought it was my battery pack. 'Cause usually the battery pack set off the alarm.
Okay.
And when I saw the security guard open the zipper and I saw it, I'm like, I look at my husband and he's like all confused. And I look at him and I mouth, you brought your gun. And he's like, what? And then I'm
Oh my
like,
God.
I just looked at him like, come here.
So he knew while they were like arresting you or apprehending you or whatever, he knew what was going on.
Yeah,
Okay.
he started apologizing to the security. Look, that's mine. That's not hers.
Yeah.
I have my license. blah, blah, blah. But because I'm the one that had it,
Yeah.
I was the one that got banned.
Yeah, what is that saying? Possession is 9/10 of the law or something?
Well, I am just happy to know that these metal detectors work.
That's
First
true.
of all.
Now,
Yes.
there was a great question in the chat. I want to say it was from Jersey Quinn. Yeah. Why was the gun in the cooler?
It's a great.
Was he trying to
Because
chill
he
it?
was supposed to leave it in the truck.
So did he not know that you were bringing the cooler in and he just like put it in there to kind of like put it away?
Yeah, and he totally forgot to tell me,
Yeah.
hey, babe, I put it in the cooler.
Jeez.
So, yeah, I mean, and it's the craziest thing because I get mad at him because when he does carry it around, I don't like it.
Yeah.
Right.
So for it to happen, I was just like, are you freaking kidding
Yeah.
me? Like, out of all people, why me?
Yeah, and for you to be the one that got in trouble for it too. Like not even because if he got in trouble for it, it would have been an
I'd kill him.
inconvenience to you, but you were the one that actually had to like get banned.
Right.
Yeah.
And then this happened, like, when all this shooting is going around, like, with the
Yeah.
schools, at shopping centers,
I mean,
everywhere. So they're like, it all depends if, the state attorney wants to press charges. So it's, it's been like nerve wracking just to wait to hear anything.
oh, you're still Are you legally allowed to talk about this publicly?
Well, there's-
I've never heard anything.
Oh.
Yeah, so like I've called like the sheriff's office and they don't have any record
Oh, okay.
updated record of it.
When did this happen?
So I'm 2022.
Oh, so pretty recently, but you're in the clear at the moment. And honestly, based on the story and the fact that your husband was there with his license and everything, I think even if someone wanted to press charges, I feel like you'd be fine.
Yes. Also, you wrote a letter and you got back in?
Yeah, so I waited, like, I gave it a year because, I'm the big Disney freak here, and, my husband was okay that I was banned.
It was almost better for him.
He did it on
we're
purpose.
saving a lot of money now.
That's true, yeah.
Yeah, but I waited at least a year because they told me you can, ride it within 6 months.
Okay.
But I waited 12 months and, and I told him, I had been a pass holder since 2010 and, and I'm sending pictures of my family and things like that. And, 2 weeks later, I heard from them and they lifted my ban.
And now because this happened in 2022, you waited a year, that takes us to 2023. Have you been back to Disney since the incident?
Oh, yeah, we were annual pass holders again.
Okay.
So, we didn't renew anymore. That's it. So it was just that 1 year, and yeah, but it was very stressful, and it just sucks.
Well,
and then somehow I guess because it's public records. I mean, it even went like in an article, like a news story, and I'm just like, are you freaking kidding me?
oh,
That's
no.
insane. Well, that's so
Yeah.
cool to know that, like, we know someone that was banned from Disney and was in the news about it, and they weren't actually a crazy person. So that's fun.
Right.
Well, at
Oh,
least
yeah.
as far
It
as
was
we know,
just
you're not a
scary
crazy
though
person.
because there was a lot of things going on that year with a lot of
Yeah.
shootings.
No,
Yeah.
of course.
And I'm like,
That's-
I was convinced they were going to convict me because, who cares? Everybody says, oh, no, that's a good person.
Yeah.
So it's just, but
Listen.
we're good now. I mean, I'm hoping we're good.
You're good. You're
if
good.
you would have been in any other state, probably, but it's Florida. You're fine.
Yeah, I know, right?
Man.
Also, did you get the keychains that we mailed you?
Yes, I did message you.
Oh, sorry.
I DM'd you a video from Chloe saying thank you. Thank you so
Oh,
much.
I have to
She
watch.
really loved it.
Okay, awesome.
Yeah, so
Good.
thank you guys so much. But thank you for hearing my story out, and you look great, guys.
You look great.
Bye.
Man, definitely earned those keychains with that story. That is amazing. And it is funny because you do see those stories all the time, right? Whether it's an athlete who tried to like get a gun through TSA, and TSA will post all the time
But sometimes,
how many people bring guns by accident.
or cats.
And
They're
it is
in their luggage.
It is so easy for us to hear that story about a stranger.
And be like,
Like,
and
oh,
judge
yeah.
them, yeah.
Yeah, sure you was by accident, but then you hear it and you hear
Well, it's
all
Becky
the
from Miami.
details.
She's fine.
You hear all the details leading up to it and you go, yeah, that actually,
Like,
it's crazy, but it makes sense.
knock on wood.
Yeah.
If, like, Becky did have to, like, go to court, we'd have to go and be like, we know her. Becky from Miami. She's great.
I went to a concert, and you may have actually been there too, with a friend of mine, and they stopped him because he had his gun on him. But the problem was he's a police officer, and it was in his precinct or his district or whatever you call it, the area. And normally they're allowed to go into and out of any building they want. This specific building had some regulation that you couldn't bring a gun. It was New York City.
But I was there.
You may have been there.
I don't know this.
So he had to go back and put his gun in his car and like hide it under the seat and everything. So it happens.
What concert?
It was maybe a Taking Back Sunday concert or something way back in the day. But yeah, that's crazy. Imagine being the person behind Becky at Disney. You're just trying to go enjoy your day with your family, and then all of a sudden you see security pulling out a gun.
Oh my God. Of all places too.
Right? Anyway,
that
made my day. I think
Okay, well,
it is time now, Carla Marie, for us to get out of here.
what a time.
What a time. Thank you for hanging out with us. I don't know how long the mustache will be here, but at least a week, at least till Thursday. We'll see what happens.
Okay.
All right. Peace out.